Okay, so this is something that I had to share with you guys right now because I thought this was quite funny, as this is a little bit of a follow-up to the whole Lacy stuff that has been going on with Neuro Sama. It's so hilarious to see how much these people have been crushing out over a AI VTuber, and it seems like it's continued into what I'm pretty sure is today's stream from Lacy, as he continues to crush out over Neuro Sama. Now, this is the clip. It comes from Yoxix again. Saying Lacy says he has no issue with the creator of AI VTuber Vedal 987, which again doesn't make sense. Oh my god, Yoxix, please get it right. Lacy says he has no issue with the creator of AI VTuber Vedal 987, even though the creator is Vedal 987 and the AI VTuber is Neuro Sama. Anyways, but rather he can't believe people are defending a robot, and this is what he had to say in the clip. We'll talk about it because this is absolutely hilarious to see.
Shout out to the guy who created this AI. Shout out to him. Something I could not even comprehend because I'm not smart enough to do. He is a genius. He has created a way to not only make money, but also do something that's insane, right? Creating an AI that can do all these things. That part does not scare me. What scares me is all of you fucking sheep. That's what scares me. The fact that there are people writing Twitter threads defending a clanker. That's what scares me. Yes, that I am terrified that there are human beings in the world sitting here defending a robot. Shout.
Bro, this might be one of the most craziest crash outs I think I've seen in a long time, especially over something that doesn't exist, right? You got to remember that he's saying, you know, there's people defending her over a clanker or whatever, but he's also getting angry over a clanker. In his own words, right? And I do think it's absolutely hilarious how much these people are now starting to cope, because obviously, as you can see, if you look at Vedal's viewership recently, well, they're starting to enter the territory of where Lacy is at the moment. And obviously, that is okay, you can't even verify that, but obviously that is not even including the alleged bots that people have been saying. You know, he drops down to about 15k after the first, beta stream. Again, it happens in pretty much every single stream. So again, obviously some people have been pointing that out as well whenever it comes to Lacy. But I do think it's interesting. You know, he says, you know, he's scared by the amount of people that are going into Twitter threads and defending Vedal and Neuro Sama, right? But I think that's exactly what his community do as well. You know, he's calling them sheep and things, but I think he also has fostered a community of people who will do anything for them, right? And I think that's the case with a lot of streamers. I think most streamers have a community that would go to bat for them in a, you know, Twitter setting or any other place, you know, and obviously that will be no exception just because Neuro Sama is AI. It doesn't make sense, right? Of course she's going to have dedicated fans no matter if she is AI or not, right? I think that is pretty insane, and it is just more so the case as well of they're not necessarily defending Neuro Sama and saying like, don't hurt my queen, like she's gonna get upset if you say that, because obviously, yeah, she is an AI, she's not gonna see it, she's not gonna really care about, well, well, to be fair, she might see it, she might comment on it or whatever, as she has done in the past, but, you know, she's not gonna get upset by it because, you know, it is an AI model at the end of the day. But I do think at the same time, right, it's just one of these things where, you know, it's still going to affect a lot of other people that are seeing it, and it is quite funny to see that kind of go ahead, because, you know, people are just essentially defending what is a bad take. They're not defending Neuro Sama in the sense that they want you to leave her alone because, oh, you know, she might get upset by that or whatever, which is the way that he's kind of, you know, presenting it. They're defending her because you are wrong. You are, you know, acting out in jealousy, in whatever, because again, obviously you're seeing these records being broken, the ones that you can't do, and an AI is doing better than you. And so now you're going up, you know, onto stream and crashing out over this and saying, you can't defend her, stop defending her, she's AI, you can't do that. Which obviously is quite dumb, because they're not necessarily, as I said, defending an AI, they're defending stupid takes. Or sorry, no, would it be defending stupid takes or going after stupid takes? Because again, there has been a lot of stupid takes whenever it comes to this, and a lot of misinformation that has been spread. It's not even people like necessarily defending her as well by saying like, oh, you know, I can't believe they would say that, let's cancel this guy or whatever. That is not the case, right? It is people, the majority of quotes and stuff that I have seen on a lot of the posts, including ones from Dexerto, from Yoxix, from other places, they've been providing information on Neurosama because it is very clear that all of these people are very uneducated on who she is and who the creator is. Primary example in number 8, Yoxix twice referring to Neurosama as Vedal. Again, you can tell these people are extremely uneducated and extremely misled on exactly what Neurosama is, and what a lot of people are doing over on Twitter right now or other places, but obviously he mentioned Twitter threads, right? And what a lot of people are doing are giving the correct information so that people can actually have a formed opinion, because we have seen this a lot. You know, we looked at it in the last video. There's one guy who literally was just like, I don't really know much. Can you guys send me a video kind of giving a history? And people linked him a video and they're like, oh, okay, you know, I don't really enjoy that stuff, but you know, I can understand why it's gone so popular now. And obviously it won't cause him to go onto stream and be like, oh, you know, I can't believe they've done this. You know, AI is going to take over, blah, 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 blah. You know, obviously it becomes a whole big ordeal. But obviously they're trying to, you know, kind of class it as like defending or attacking or defending. When in actual case, it is them being completely misled and them attacking Neurosama and Vedal. Obviously, you know, can you attack an AI? I guess so. You could still attack an AI, even if they aren't very vulnerable to it, you know. But, you know, especially Vedal, right? When they have zero clue about what is actually going on. They're just seeing a stream clip, which obviously is getting extremely popular. And obviously they want to make a comment on it because it is one of the most popular things on Twitch at the moment. And, you know, that most popular thing on Twitch isn't them. So they're not going to be too happy about that one. And of course, they're going to speak negatively about it because that's what some of the top content creators do, right? They want attention. They want to do this stuff. That's why they do stuff like view botting and all of that kind of thing, because they want to be on the top of the category. They want to be seen. And, you know, when I think the difference is, right? And I think it is pretty funny because it kind of shows you with people like Lacy, people like Jason, all of these people, right, who have, you know, tried to make it big. And have made it big, right? I'm not saying they haven't made it big, but that, you know, they have made it big, right? And I think now they want to get even bigger, but instead of trying to, you know, elevate their content to kind of improve it and actually get bigger naturally, they're now pushing down on the people that are doing things, you know, better than them, because these people are just sat here on their computers complaining about Neurosama and complaining about Vedal and complaining and complaining and complaining. Whereas you don't see Neuro and Vedal doing this at all, right? They are just having fun. They're just doing their stream. They are just providing entertaining content to their, you know, fans and stuff, including obviously stuff like those hype trains as well also provides entertaining content for them as well, which I do think obviously is super, super cool. And obviously it has, you know, caught a lot of attention of a lot of people because that's what they're doing. They're not focused on bringing others down. They're focused on instead pushing themselves up and just kind of, you know, focusing on their own content. Obviously, you know, Neuro's dropped a couple of, you know, one-liners or something about people saying that the AI will take over and things as a joke, of course, because it's funny to kind of mention it every now and again. And sometimes Vedal does interject with like a couple of comments or whatever that he wants to make about, you know, some recent situations or whatever, saying like, oh, you know, I wish it could be different or whatever, because again, people are just severely misled. And now obviously if you try to correct them whenever they're being misled and spreading this misinformation, you're labeled as some kind of defender, which I guess you kind of are a defender, but you know, not in the way that, you know, people are thinking. You know, a lot of people are trying to class it as, you know, a big parasocial thing, that they think that this AI VTuber is going to marry them. No, a lot of people, if anything, you know, the common sentiment behind Neurosama is like a daughter. You know, it's like a daughter, and especially to Vedal as well. Obviously, it's like his like AI daughter, right? Because he's literally made her from scratch and built her up like this, which again, I do think is a completely different way as to how people are trying to, I guess, spread the narrative, right? People were even in the comments as well saying cry harder, and I think that even some of the people in here don't even follow Neurosama or Vedal, and maybe even sometimes follow Lacy, and are telling him like, okay, dude, you're looking a little bit jealous here. You know, it is very obvious how jealous you are about Neuro doing better than you. And, you know, it's just stupid. And people are saying cry harder, you know, iRobot is definitely going to happen. Said, I usually don't agree with Lacy's takes, but he's not wrong. Which again, you know, some people are agreeing with him there, saying, right, because the creator isn't doing anything, just farming off an AI, which obviously is not the case at all. Again, as I said, this is why so many people are defending them, because people are completely misled by saying stuff like the creator is farming off an AI, which isn't the case. The creator is actively taking part in the content and making upgrades while that is also happening as well, and planning collaborations and planning all of this stuff. You think that Neuro Sama is the one that plans all of her collaborations, with, I don't know, like Camilla or people like that? Maybe some of them, or like Twitter or whatever, but majority of them obviously is set up by Vedal and scheduled by Vedal for it to happen, and he makes sure things stay on track. If you let Neuro Sama take over a stream by herself for 24 hours, I think it would just be a mess. I'm gonna be honest. There would be no schedule. There would be no kind of, order to it, right? And that's what Vedal, provides to it, because, he can split it up and be like, okay, we're going to go do this now. We're going to do this with this person. We're going to go play this game, or we're going to do that. And obviously it then keeps the content fresh, keeps it fun. Whereas I think if Neuro was to take over stream, she'd probably just talk the entire time and probably go into some sort of like long rant about Tony and how Tony's controlling her, right? Again, I think that is literally how it would go. So again, I do think, Vedal's kind of involvement in things is definitely underplayed a lot by these people, and it just seems to be getting even more insane every single day. But yeah, I just thought I'd share this one with you guys a little bit early because I thought it was pretty funny, and obviously it is a direct follow-up from the last video that we made on this. But again, the Neuro Sama news channel strikes again, and obviously I'll keep you guys up to date with some more stuff going on with Neuro later on, and more people coping at her. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop to use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all.